Good evening, everyone. It's Rob here. I didn't actually personally get any trading done today. Winter's coming, and I had to get some more firewood in before it's too late. And unfortunately, I did miss a pretty good afternoon. After watching the morning session, I thought, nope, this is going to be a disaster today. Everybody's waiting for news on Thursday and Friday. That wasn't the case. Everything decided to go up. So let's just quickly look at the markets and how they behave today. So the first one we'll have a look at is the Nasdaq. So it opened, up here in this area. It opened up sort of between its upper value level and its first target. So it actually started looking pretty bullish. And then it just kind of slowly started down. And by 9 o'clock, it was breaking down below the upper value level and down to the inflection point. There it kind of meandered around. And we can also see our dynamic had rolled over at this point. So that's a bit of a bearish tell. And sure enough, it just sort of down. And then there tried to be a little half-hearted rally. It came up to the inflection point when London opened. It just couldn't get any traction, and it came all the way back down, as you can see, to the lower value level, and then back up. I guess the New York pre-market session opened, and it made it back to the dynamic. Then, as the sun was coming up over New York, wham, right back down to the lower value level and the first downside target. And this is unusual, folks, and powerful, very powerful, when you get the two of them together, when they're that close, when they're mathematically that close. You've got a lot of algorithms in there. Boop. And sure enough, when it couldn't break, it just rocketed all the way to the other side of the range. Back down, hung around the inflection point, half-hearted effort to go lower, and then skyrocketed all the way to the first with a little pit stop at the upper value level and kind of closed out sort of in a nondescript way. Okay, so that was the Nasdaq, and let's take a look at the S&P and what it did. It was really kind of quiet. Again, this time it opened up in its value level, in its value range, kind of hung on here to its inflection point. The dynamic rolls over, and it just meanders its way all the way down here, just sort of all night. There was that little pop here back to the dynamic when London opened, and then down it went, as you can see, and it found some really good support. So it was all in here when I was thinking to myself, this might be a good day to do firewood. Well, of course, it got itself back into its range, came back down, and my dynamic, it turned. It started to go up again, meandered down. So all in this was the buy opportunity that I really missed. When we got ourselves back into the range, the dynamic turned, we had the pullback, and then the buying came back in. So that was the big opportunity that I missed. That was the one that frosted my flakes, let me tell you. Okay, so that was it. It could not escape its upper value level. And again, just kind of coasted itself back down a little bit. And we'll see what happens in the night market. Bitcoin. Let's see what our friends that like the Bitcoin were up to today. Well, here we can see, wow, there we go. Sideways the whole day, pretty much. It was a pretty big range, but it meandered around. It opened pretty much at its lower value level, down to the first, back up to the dynamic, and it found support This was tricky. This is a tricky situation because it found support at the lower value level. Then it got up above the dynamic. Check this out, folks. And it turned. It did turn, and it brought people in, and then the computers all turned on their cell programs and smoked it all the way back down to the first downside target. Back to the lower range level, back to the first, back up we go. Just chop, 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 and it ended up closing at the lower value level. So this goes to show you, I mean, you know what? We can't always have winning trades. This one, 2 o'clock in the morning, so that's when Germany's opening, Frankfurt's opening at that time. So it is, you keep, especially if you're night fighting, if you're trading the overnight markets, just be cognizant of the other exchanges and when they open, and you know, give it, just like we do in New York session, we give it a moment to find its level before it starts to move. So perhaps I'm going to chalk this little bull trap up here to that. Okay, that's about it. So we will see you tomorrow. I'll do another video tomorrow, and we'll see how the night market fared. I'll have that video out before New York opens for you, and we'll see if there are any key levels that we need to watch. For instance, in the case of Bitcoin here, we have an orphan. Remember, if an orphan being the inflection point that has not been hit. So this level here is going to be a natural target for tonight or tomorrow. So we'll keep an eye on this inflection point level. And that's about it. I'm going to go and have some dinner now. I'm starving after doing all that firewood. I'm angry because I didn't catch my trade, so I guess that makes me hangry. No, silly me. Anyway, okay, folks, you guys have a wonderful evening, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care and play safe.